Taking place not long after Into the Spider-Verse, Miles Morales finds himself tangled back into the Spider-Verse with Gwen Stacy, where they encounter a variety of other Spider people, their leader Miguel O'Hara, and a new threat in the form of the Spot. During all this, Miles must once again determine what it means to be Spider-Man in his own universe. Does it entail following the same path as others, or doing things his own way? The first Spider-Verse film caught me off guard with how unbelievably good it was. Even today, there are a lot of people who take animated films for granted, and I have been guilty of that from time to time. But the first Spider-Verse film shows that even with CGI and other amazing effects, there are many things you can capture better in animation than live action, and you can tell a story just as good, if not sometimes better, in animation as well. And as it is important to remember, animation is not just something for kids only. Now with that little speech done, what do I think of Across the Spider-Verse? This could be viewed as something even better than the first one, depending on how you look at it. On the other hand, I enjoyed the simple coming-of-age story a little bit more than the story here. That's not to say this was bad, far from it. I just like the story more in the first film. But what is an improvement in this film is the animation. Seriously, the animation in Into the Spider-Verse was already breathtaking, but this is something that needs to be seen to be believed. The amount of detail and design put into the backgrounds, the characters, the buildings, everything is truly remarkable. There's a moment where Gwen Stacy goes from standing on a building to walking it upside down, which is such a smooth transition that I was left in awe of what I was watching. And like the first Spider-Verse, the designs of the locations and characters are all different. Gwen's reality kind of reminded me of watercolors, while Hobie Brown's and his reality reminded me of poster art. The highlight of the film has to be the chase with all the spider people after Miles. Apparently it took multiple years to create, and if that's true, then the end result pays off extremely well. Not only is it tense, action-packed, and funny, but it's just so cool to see the various different types of Spider-Man and women. My personal favorite has to be the appearance of the Spider-Man from the Spectacular Spider-Man cartoon. That was my favorite Spider-Man show growing up, and to see him in multiple scenes and to hear him speak was such a cool experience for me. The characters are all great still. Miles is still a relatively new character in the comics and media, but he has proven that he is every bit deserving of the mantle of Spider-Man as is Peter Parker. He's youthful, smart, and down to earth with the citizens of Brooklyn, but he's still finding his way and balancing out being a superhero, a student, and a son. Gwen, Peter B. Parker, and Hobie Brown are wonderful as well, but the ones who stand out for me are the Spot and Miguel. The Spot is a character I was not expecting to ever see in a Spider-Man film. In fact, the only reason I know who the Spot is because he appeared in an episode of the 90s cartoon. That said, the creators took this relatively unknown joke of a character and turned him into a character that has the potential to be a larger-than-life threat. He's played for laughs at the beginning, but as the film continues, you see how dangerous he can become. Miguel O'Hara is also a neat addition to the Spider roster. He's not inherently a bad guy, but he is an antagonist for our hero, and as cool as he is, you can easily see how willing he is to sacrifice things for the greater good of the Spider-Verse. That and Oscar Isaac delivers an outstanding performance, as always. There is one issue I have with this film though, and it's a technical issue. It's the sound. There are moments where it's difficult to hear what some characters are saying. I admittedly heard about this before going into the movie, and I thought maybe I wouldn't have that problem. But sure enough, there were a few scenes where I couldn't understand what was being said. Fortunately, Sony is apparently sending out new copies to theaters with better sound quality, so hopefully that will be fixed soon. Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse might be the gold standard for animation in the US. I'm phrasing it like that because I have not seen a large amount of animated films in the US or other countries, so I'm only comparing it to what I know. What I do know is that it has remarkable animation, well-written characters, and strong performances from the actors and actresses. If it does not at the very least get nominated for Best Animated Film at the next Oscars, I will be utterly shocked. In the meantime, find the biggest movie screen possible and go watch Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. Thanks, this is an O.M.M review. This is O.M.M, signing out.